You mentioned that the Focolare is an ecclesial movement, and there have been a good number of them since the 40s and 50s. The 20th century was kind of fertile for that kind of lay initiative. And it seems that all of those that sprang up have just done an incredibly effective job in perduring, in continuing to exist. They haven't phased out. They haven't, lost their energy. In fact, they've seemed to just grow. They've grown throughout the world, and they touch people at such deep, deep places. Daniel used the word secret. What's the secret?
Our secret is this union with God. Everything like they were saying or whatever we try to do is, I want to love God back because we have discovered that God has this infinite love for each one of us. And so we want to give it back to Him. And how do we love God? Chiara, our founder, Chiara Lubick, one of the sentences of the gospel that she highlighted one time was, you cannot say that you that you love God that you don't see if you don't love your neighbor that you see. So in the little things, trying to, love our neighbors, be friends to those that maybe other people would just ignore, trying to, try to reach out to everyone because we love God.
Yeah. And I would add to that I think one of the big secrets of the Focolare is living. Chiara was really sensitive and really wanted to live the phrase of the gospel where Jesus says, where two or three are gathered in my name, there I am in your midst. And we've really seen that by living that phrase, by loving one another, we're gathered in His name, by loving one another the way Jesus loved us, that He's present among us in a special way. And it's Him who guides us, and it's Him who attracts other people to Him. So I think that's one of our big secrets.
It's not just the small acts, though. We also have acts on an international level. To those are a program called Schoolmates and Coloring Our City. Schoolmates provides education in third world countries. For example, in Iraq, there are many refugees and they couldn't get an education or enroll in a school. But Young for Unity taught them Arabic, English, science, and math. And Coloring Our City, we do acts of love in our city where we visit orphanages, we visit the disabled, and visit nursing homes.
So when you speak of unity, you're not just speaking about ecumenism, Christian unity. You're speaking about human unity, bringing all people together, motivated by your love of God.
That's right. That's right. The goal of the Focolare is to really turn the world into a family. So the world lives as a family. And Focolare in Italian means hearth, but it has a real connotation of family fireside, where the family gathers together. So,
Daniel and Annie, I'm blown away by how articulate you are and how passionate you are about your involvement in Focolare. And I have to ask this question. Given where you are in your life, and you're both very young, but also very thoughtful, very energetic, and passionate about what you believe in, what do you want to do when you get to be my age?
Not that
old. And I'm curious, at this point in your life, what are you thinking of as far as what you want to do with your life? Annie, you first.
Oldest first.
Because Daniel had this inquisitive look on his face.
That's a really difficult question. I am in a point in my life where I'm asking myself those big questions. What do I want to do? I'm a senior at my high school, so I've applied for college, everything. And I've stopped to think to myself, Annie, where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? And I do see myself working, being a part of the world as, everyday people. But I also see myself staying with the Focolare. I have been trying to take on more responsibility with the movement, trying to take more leadership roles, and I feel that in about 10 years I will see myself in a leadership role, trying to be an example for everyone else, and also try to be an example in the Focolare, because we are just humans gathering together, and we all have our struggles every day, and we meet with each other, though, to share in those struggles and to be a support system for each other. Every week on Sunday night, the young girls in my age group, we all try to call in for about an hour and a half to speak with each other and to explain what our week's difficulties were, what our struggles were, and to reassure each other that we're living for each other. It makes it a lot easier if you have someone that you can share your struggles with, and it makes it a lot easier to live this way.
Daniel, how about you?
Yeah, we're going to hold Daniel off for just a second.
You can think about it for 2 more minutes.
But you know, folks, when you run into grace the way that we're doing it right now, when grace smacks you in the face like this and you hear these powerful words coming out of the mouth of such a young person, all you can do is close your eyes and give thanks. So we're going to give you a chance to do that. A couple of brief messages, and we'll be right back with more inspiration from members of the Focolare movement. Don't go away.
Welcome back, 9:21 on a Friday morning in Chicago. A chilly Friday morning at that. Catholic Community of Faith, Relevant Radio, 950 AM. All right, Daniel, it's your turn. Where do you see yourself in 10, 15 years?
Well, I've decided I don't want to be a folklorino like Steven. I think I want to continue my education, and I want to get a job, and I still want to be part of the Focolare. Focolare doesn't stop just with your youth. You pass it on to your next generation. Maybe if I had kids, I would pass it on to them. You spread peace by spreading it to other people. I would still try to be an example, maybe in the workplace. I would just try and set an example for the world.
You guys are running for unity. Tell us what the Run for Unity coming up May 12th is all about.
Well, this is the 3rd edition of a worldwide sports relay, and it'll be starting in Fiji. What it is we pass this virtual baton to the next time zone. When this first started about 7 years ago, I want to say in 2005, the young fraternity asked themselves, what can we do to bring witness to the world that there is love and unity? And we had spent quite a bit of time thinking about it, and we finally came up with this worldwide relay race where we pass this virtual baton from time zone to time zone that connects us together, and we keep track of this via the internet. When this first started in 2005, we had come up with the theme of it being a rainbow around the world, and so each time zone represented a different color that connected us in a rainbow. And also when we first started this, we thought to ourselves, how can we make this universal? How can we reach every culture across the world? What one thing do we have, does the human race have that we can connect? And surprisingly enough, we came up with math.
Math? Well, of course. That's what I would have said.
It definitely took some thinking, but the math symbols are the same in every single language and every different culture around the world. So we took the 6 math symbols, plus sign, division, percentage, multiplication, subtraction, and equals. And for each one, we assigned a sort of principle, a sort of ideal. And we've been building off of them every year. This year, we have yes to responsibility, yes to a just economy, yes to life and to family, yes to creation, yes to solidarity, and yes to peace.
Wow. Just blowing me away here. All right. Daniel, have you participated in the 2 previous ones?
This is actually my first Run for Unity, and I think it really shows peace because we're not just going to be running like a city like we are, but people around the world are going to be running like around borders with disputes, like around the Middle East, showing that there is peace in the world. It's not all bad. And in fact, we'll have one in Chicago in Elmhurst at Timothy Christian School, 188 West Butterfield Road, May 12th, 10 to 4 p.m.
And what happens at Timothy Christian? Is it a physical run? Is it a virtual run? There's a virtual baton. Help us older people understand.
They said virtual baton. If they told me they were going to run across the water, I would have believed it. I think these kids are capable of doing that.
Or parted the water.
Yeah, right.
Well, what it is a sports event, and I'm lucky enough that my father is helping to plan these events. He is actually taking care of the Yes to Creation. What it is we have these workshops that go along with these ideals where we explain a little more about what it is that we are trying to accomplish, and we explain to them that this is an event that showcases how you can live these ideals every day. And I know that what we are doing with the workshops, or what we're doing after the workshops, so we're having little sports activities where the kids can compete and show off their athleticism and have fun. And then afterwards, we will also be doing some communal work. I know at some point we might visit an orphanage or a nursing home, and I know some people will be doing cleanup in the local park. And that's basically what it is around the world, people are doing what they can to their culture to show that there's unity in the world, and they are kind of taking care of the world and cleaning up together.
Stephen, can any young person who may be listening to the program this morning get involved in this?
Absolutely. This is open to everybody.
And what's the best way for an individual to kind of get connected here?
You can call us at 773-285-2746, or you can go online to r4, the number 4, Chicago@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/Run4Unity Chicago.
Run for the number 4.
The number 4,
Yeah.
yes.
Run for Unity Chicago. So May the 12th, 10 to 4, Timothy Christian School, 188 West Butterfield Road in Elmhurst. And there's a cost of $10 or $12 at the door. Well, I would say if you're out there and you want your kids to start sounding like these two we've got here in the studio, you should make your plans right now to get them there on May 12th.
What would you say, Daniel, to a young person out there this morning who just heard this program and said, I'm not really sure if this is for me. I don't really, encourage them, push them over to show up on the 12th. What would you say to them?
Well, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be singing songs. We're gonna be having a good time, and we'll also be on Skype. We'll be receiving the virtual baton from Conchabamba in Bolivia, and we'll be passing it on to El Paso, Texas.
Say that name one more time.
Conchabamba.
Conchabamba. I never even heard of that, but cool.
From 3 to 4, the young people do the run. So the actual run, the name is Run for Unity, but the actual run is from 3 to 4 in the different time zones. So it starts, as Annie mentioned before, in the Fiji Islands, and then it goes to the Australia, where the Aboriginal population are expected to take part in the event, and then in Thailand with Buddhists and Christians, and then in India the Hindus are having the event in many different cities, going to Greece where Orthodox and Catholics will run together. In Israel they are going to run in one of the national parks along the coastline. In Egypt, as I mentioned, many places in Europe, and then comes to the Americas, where in Brazil, Chile, all those countries. And then, as Daniel mentioned, we'll get the virtual baton from Bolivia, who is the time zone ahead of us.
And technology has really helped all this, right? Because Skype and internet is a lot cheaper than plane tickets.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, it's been a real pleasure hearing about the activities of the Focolare movement, learning particularly about Run for Unity, but especially just meeting the 4 of you and seeing the sincerity and the enthusiasm and the love for one another, for the Lord, that you embody. So thank you for being here, Daniel Poole and Annie Aguirre, and Stephen Schubert and Anna Paula Panzarini. God bless you all. Good luck on May 12th, and all of you listeners out there, stay with us. We're going to be talking with a group of dramatic players from one of our local parishes. We'll tell you more about it after these brief messages. Please don't go away.